The Rays and Rangers have split the first two games of the Trop, with Tampa Bay's offense exploding for a season-high 8 runs in Monday's win. While last night, former Ray Matt Moore stole the show, tossing 7 innings and giving up just 1 unearned run in a 7-2 Texas victory. Today, right-hander Jake Faria takes on Rangers southpaw Cole Hamels in the series finale. We welcome you to Tropicana Field. Wrap-up game of this series between the Rays and the Texas Rangers. Rays with a disappointing start overall, nevertheless have their eyes set on a series win. These two clubs have divided the first 2 games. We'll see what happens here at the Trop this afternoon. With Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, so good to have you with us. Well, the pitching matchup, Jake Faria on the hill against Cole Hamels. Faria had a better time of it last time out.
Listen, I thought that was a really nice outing for Jake. You know, that's coming on the heels of the shortest start of his career, where he went just an inning and 2/3 in the previous start. But what does he do? He goes out in a big outing against the Philadelphia Phillies. He was able to avoid some early trouble, and once he did that, he started to get his mix going and ended up pitching into the 6th inning, 5 1/3 innings, gave up just the 2 hits, 1 earned run, and a nice bounce back there for Jake. 7 strikeouts. He'll look to continue that here this afternoon. Cole Hamels, you're going to see his numbers against the Rays since 2008, and this includes 2 starts in the World Series. Tremendous numbers, but all that shows you is what he's capable of. He's going to be facing a different Rays lineup here this afternoon, but the veteran with great pitchability shows you, and listen, if he can get it rolling, he's a guy that can tie you up, and I would expect these Rays hitters to try to ambush him early, because like I said, if he gets into the game and gets settled in, could be a long day.
Well, offense has been an issue for the Rays from the get-go following the first game of the season. C.J. Cron is heating up. He's put together a 7-game hitting streak and has a history of success against lefties. When we come back, Michelle Margot will take a look at this hitting streak put together by C.J. Cron.
on a hitting streak, 7 games, and before that, he was just hitting 156 in his previous 9 games. So that 7-game hit streak has definitely stepped up his game. Take a look at this home run on Monday in Game 1 off of Martin Perez in the 4th inning, showing off his power. 370 average double home run and 4 RBIs in that 7-game hitting streak. And I spoke with hitting coach Chad Matola on what Crone brings to this lineup.
Power, that's what we're counting on, some power, some drive some guys in. Even when he's in the box, he's in scoring position, so that's what we're looking forward to.
I think it has a lot to do with confidence for sure. Just gotta, go to the plate every time with a good mindset and try to help the team.
The true test will be today when he faces Cole Hamels, who he has seen 21 times in his career. Game 3 with Jake Faria on the bump for the Rays as Tampa Bay hopes to take the series against Texas. First pitch just moments away.
Rays wrapping up this series at home against the Texas Rangers and sending the young right-hander Jake Faria to the hill, making his 4th start. Rays winners in the first game of the series 8-4, dropping last night's game 7-2. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for Texas, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Chu's going to lead it off again. Shin-Soo Choo in right. Isaiah Kiner Falefa is the shortstop, coming off a big night last night with 4 hits. The number 3 hitters, Nomar Mazara. Adrian Beltre will hit cleanup and be the DH, batting in front of Joey Gallo. Robin Chirinos, the catcher, hits 6th. Drew Robinson at second base. Renato Nunez hits 8th. Carlos Tochi is in center field, batting 9th.
You know, and for Jake Faria, maybe that last outing that we talked about in the Open is the one that really gets him going here in 2018. We talked about, as we came into that start, how big of a start it was after going just an inning and 2/3 up at Fenway Park, giving up 8 earned runs and to go along with 5 walks in that game. But he really came out, threw the ball well against the Phillies, and you hope that that's a springboard for better things than that even to come.
Well, here we go. Chu stepping in. Drove in a couple of runs, hit his 4th home run of the year last night. And the first pitch is a strike call. So we are underway right on time at 10 minutes past the hour. One and one. Well, the Rays looking for innings out of their regular starting. Have had to contend with the lights there for a moment. He's been over and left. He was all over the place last night making catches.
And he gets the first one tonight. Let's look at the rest of his mates, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Span, Smith, and then of course Johnny Field. And across that infield third to first, Snyder, Echeverria, Robertson, and Crone. Jesus Sucre gets the call behind the dish.
It's kind of Falefa. The first pitch to him is the ball inside. 4 for 5 last night. Suddenly that average went from 118 to 273. And another hard hit ball. This one lined into left. Span to cut it off, and he will hold Kiner Falefa to a base hit. Well, you talk about red hot, and he smoked that line drive.
And a guy seeing the ball well and swinging the bat very well. See him get on the side of that baseball. That looks. That's just a cutter, hanging slider, middle of the plate. It's an easy read for a hitter. Catch the spin, and there's no real movement to it. And he smoked it.
Closest thing to a T.
It really is. Hanging sliders. You know, pitchers will tell you the hanging slider will go farther than just about anything else that you could throw.
There's Mazzara. Nomar Mazzara, now 10th in the league in hitting at .310. Fouls a fastball back. Up there ready to swing the bat, Mazzara. And on deck, DHing today is Adrian Beltre. And he has him out in front, swinging over that one. It's strike 2.
A good changeup there by Jake. Kept that pitch off the plate, and both the movement of the pitch and the change of speed got Mazzara, and that opens up just about anything that you want to come with now. That's what Mazzara taking his time getting back in there, trying to recalibrate.
Time called here with a man on and 1 out. Over to first. Kiner Falefa back in. Jake has pitched twice against Boston, once against Philadelphia. Sucre covers up on that pitch. Second outing at Boston was the tough one for Jake Faria. He really battled with all parts of his game. Command was an issue, and things were better last time. 78 pitches got him 1 out into the 6th inning of that game. Popper short left. Span coming in. He's got time and makes the catch for the 2nd out. And a nice initial read by Span on that. Not hit very hard, and he got there with no problem.
Well, you got a big guy at the plate. And it's got some power. It takes a big swing and the ball doesn't come off the bat like that. Yeah, it can be tricky sometimes, but Span, the veteran, runs it down. You know, when you go back, Dwayne, to that start that you're talking about in Boston with Faria, I think it was something that started off mechanical.
You know, that front side drifting towards home plate a little bit too soon, and the arm not getting where it needs to be. And then you were afraid that it was starting to become mental, because then he couldn't find the plate at all. Had 5 walks in that game, ended up giving up 8 earned runs. And we remember the press conference with him, or at least the interview with him after the game, where you could still see him right there on camera, still searching for what went wrong, what possibly could have gone that wrong that fast.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about the psychological, the emotional side of trying to work your way through a very frustrating outing for him then. 1-1, and to his credit, you know, a lot of guys might hide and leave and not do that. He did stand up and try to address it in the best way that he could. And he has to be commended for that. And then went to work and had a better outing his next time out. Line drive, going to be just over the head. Robertson trying to time his leap and get as high into the air as he can. So up to second goes Kiner Falefa. Beltre has a base hit.
Well, he got just enough of it. The defense right where it needed to be, but that ball off the end of the bat gets over the head of Robertson. Kiner Falefa elects not to test Mallex Smith's arm out there in center field and hangs tight at second. Surprising, with 2 outs running on contact, he would not have tried to get to third.
Well, 2 men on now for Joey Gallo. Gallo with 6 home runs. This one is down. Had a home run here in Monday's game to center field. It hit the D ring. Topping that home run list with Mike Trout. Chopper right side. Ball comes up on Echeverria out there, but he recovers in time to make the play and get Gallo, with Echeverria in the middle of that shift on the right side. Rays coming in to hit, no score. Your Southern Ford dealers. It will be Denard Span leading off, followed by Daniel Robertson and Carlos Gomez DHing. C.J. Crone at first, hitting cleanup in front of Adeiny Echeverria, then Jesus Sucre, Mallex Smith, Brandon Snyder, and Johnny Field rounding out the lineup.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Texas Rangers is going to be left-hander Cole Hamels, and let's take a look at a scouting report on Cole. First of all, a stellar career. I mean, you think about it, he's got on 148 career wins. He was a 4-time All-Star, 2008 LCS MVP and World Series MVP, so he's put together quite the career. But early struggles here in 2018 has led to his big ERA. He's got a 13.5, Dwayne, in the first inning, has given up 4 home runs in the first inning. And so you would think that this Rays lineup is trying to get to him early, because once he is settled in, he turns it up a notch.
Denard Span takes the ball inside. Count is 1-1. Span in there against the lefty. He is 8 of 30 in his career with a double against Hamels. Lefty on left. Upstairs, 2-1. Well, we talked about the mental side of the game with Jake Perea, and sometimes that first inning becomes mental for a starting pitcher.
Well, here it is, and what ends up happening, and I think that Cole Hamels is dealing with less stuff than he's ever had. And so when you go out there with less stuff, you try to be a little too fine maybe off the the get-go. I mean, you used to say about Tom Glavine, you better get to him early, because if he settles into the game, he's gonna put you away. And so you're trying to find it, trying to find the edges of the plate, and you leave yourself sometimes susceptible to falling behind, some bad counts, and guys will try to jump you as you establish the strike zone.
Pitch is popped to the left side. Shallow left field. The shortstop is out there. Kiner Falefa takes care of that popper. 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Ranger defense, see how it's going to line up. Brought to you by our good friends at Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we've got Nomar Mazara, Carlos Tochi, and Shin-Soo Chu across that infield, third to first. Renato Nunez, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, Drew Robinson, and Joey Gallo. Robinson Chirinos back behind the dish.
Look at Matt Moore. Pitched very well for Texas last night to even the series. 7 innings, 1 run. That run was unearned against the former Ray. Took care of business in 93 pitches en route to a 7-2 win.
Boy, he had come in struggling mightily.
Daniel Robertson with a 1-1 count. He's 5th in the league in walks and rolls it down to third. Nunez comes up with it. Throw to first, and 2 gone. Carlos Gomez will bat.
I think if this pitch right here by Cole Hamels is anywhere near the strike zone, Carlos Gomez is going to come out of his shoes.
Well, Gomez has a history of success here against Hamels through the years. A couple of extra base hits, including a home run, 6 out of 22. And lays off a pitch too high, 1-0.
You're going to see that an awful lot this afternoon. The cutter, Cole Hamels' fastball, and he loves that cutter too.
And it's a big cut on a foul ball back.
Fastball, cutter, curveball change. He really does a nice job against right-handed hitters of mixing all 4.
Two and one. Down to third. Glove by Nunez, and his throw's a bit high. The tag play is on, and Gallo tags Gomez to retire the Rays in order in the first. On to inning 2, no score.
against the Rangers. Well, Jake Faria bounced back in his last start after struggling 2 starts ago, and he said the way he did it was by not worrying about what the hitters are going to do and really just focusing on what he can control. And he said in his last start he was just having fun again, and he finally felt comfortable. He was not comfortable for a few starts before that, but he feels like there's momentum going his way in terms of just being more confident. And guys, do you see a difference in his confidence level, or is it more subtle?
No, I think you can see it. As we talked about his reaction after that middle appearance of the 3 and how difficult a time it was, and then the last time out he got to settle in, and I think it's night and day, and now he has a base upon which to build.
And your confidence will grow when you start being able to put the baseball where you want it, and that's what he was not able to do at Fenway Park, and that's where you get shaky out there, because you're like, listen, my only job as a pitcher is to throw strikes and get outs, and now I can't even get the ball in the strike zone, let alone in the good areas of the strike zone. And so that's where the you know, it starts to creep in mentally and potentially can become a huge issue, and you were afraid that, you know, that's the path that it could go down if it wasn't dealt with. Well, obviously he did some good work in between, avoided early trouble in that start against the Phillies, and then started filling up the strike zone, moving the ball around, and that is what will give you confidence. It's
a nice pitch to get Chirinos right there.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that will continue to allow that to grow. You can have the best side sessions in the world, but until it translates into getting outs out on the field during a game, the confidence it's going to be tough to come by. But you throw split changes like that, you start to feel froggy out there.
Well, that's why that last series and the last start he made was so important, coming off the one prior.
Oh,
I mean, that was the big challenge, and the fact that he had some success against the Phillies, boy, what a boost.
Yeah, well, there's a tendency after you have an outing like he had up in Boston to really put a lot of pressure on yourself for that next start. And guess what? If it does not go well, that's when the boulder starts to roll downhill.
Yep.
And so that's why we came in saying this actually is a very big start for Jake. And you know what? He passed with flying colors.
And you know, that's one of the big challenges for a new pitching coach like Kyle Snyder. He's got a guy out here who's got a chance to have a nice career. Got off to a good start last year, pretty good makeup, good stuff. And now he suffers through a tough spring. And then the second outing, not very good at all. And Kyle Snyder has to deal with that.
And Kyle Snyder has the perfect demeanor for that. Very level-headed. Another punch out there. Jake off to a nice start here, but very level-headed. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. You can tell that by just watching him there in the dugout. Like me, on the other hand, I'd be a horrifying pitching coach. I mean,
well, you were an assistant to the pitching coach.
That's why it ended right there.
They
set
kept
me
you
up
at arm's length.
That's right. Like you just take all that up there with D. Wayne.
Robinson out on strikes, 2 guys.
That
And it's worked out really
here.
well here. Really has. There's a pop up by Nunez.
We are still together, though.
We are, yeah.
Never thought it would.
And it appears that we're having a pretty nice time.
It is.
1-0.
But I think that I think with Jim Hickey, decorated pitching coach, one of the best in the game, and he decides to move on, and all of a sudden, or the team decides to move on, and all of a sudden here comes Kyle Snyder, the perfect pitching coach at the right time.
Yeah.
The timing could not have been better for him to be the guy.
And it doesn't hurt that he's been around these guys prior to coming in and assuming the pitching coach job with the big club,
which would be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about how difficult it is for a new catcher to come in and learn a pitching staff just based on what they like to do in their stuff.
Yeah.
Kyle Snyder has to figure out what makes this guy tick, and he's got to learn that about a lot of different guys. Well, he had a pretty good head of steam coming in, and that's always a plus.
1-2 the count on Nunez.
I got a chance to play with Kyle, back in the day with the Royals, and that's how he was as a pitcher, just unflappable. He was out there. You couldn't tell if he had a perfect game going. You couldn't tell if he had given up 4 or 5 in the first.
High fly ball. Span in left field is waiting and puts it away, and it's a 1-2-3. Second inning to an inning and a half from Tropicana Field. No score. Texas ball club. 2 years ago, they won 95. Last year, 78. They had a big turnaround in one-run games from one year to the next. C.J. Crone takes a strike. They were 95 and 67 in 2016 and were 36 and 11 in one-run games. Short center coming straight in, Tochi, and he's there to make the catch. Last year, when they won 78 games, the Rangers were 13 and 24 in one-run games.
And what a turnaround. 36 and 11, and you know, the difference was in 2016, you know, they got knocked out of the playoffs, but they won the division, and all of a sudden 2017 there was the slide. And you know, you saw them as they traded off Yu Darvish, started making some changes within the organization. Not a complete teardown rebuild, but definitely a retool on the fly attempt, at least.
Danny Echeverria takes one high. Echeverria hitting .232. 3 hits last night, all singles. He's still looking for his first extra base hit of the year. 1-1 now.
Hard to believe, because you know, that was a reputation he had coming over to the Rays a season ago, but then he became an extra base machine there for a while. So home runs and some doubles.
Down to third, Nunez, a little backhand, and the throw to first is in time. So 2 up, 2 down. Visit the local participating 7-Eleven and pick up a Rays discount coupon for $7.11 tickets to the game this Friday against the Minnesota Twins, and keep saving with $5 Budweiser and Bud Lights exclusively on the Budweiser porch. Ages 21 and over. Please drink responsibly. Sucre takes the ball. 1-0. Sucre's had a lot of success in a limited number of at-bats. He's 4 for 6 with a double off Hamels. And shoots this one foul up beyond Ozzie Timmons.
That's why you see him sneaking up into the middle part of the order. The Rays looking for any kind of offense that they can get. Play the numbers, play the matchups.
High fly ball lifted into center. Tochi is there to make the catch. He got the first out on Crone, the third out on Sucre, and a ground ball in between. On to the third, scoreless. Colon flirting with baseball history in his last start in Houston. Perfect game, came 6 out short of a perfect game, perfect through 7. Before that was broken up, Josh Reddick doubled over first, scoring Carlos Correa. Loses the perfect game. Oldest pitchers to throw a no-hitter, Nolan Ryan at 44 years, 90, and he's second in front of Cy Young third, Randy Johnson, and Warren Spahn, just over 40 years old, in April of 61 with the Milwaukee Braves against the Giants. First pitch to Carlos Tocci inside, 1 ball and no strikes. And Bartolo Colon making a bid to join those guys at 44. He'll be 45 in May.
It's fascinating really watching his career beginning to end, because I was with the Cleveland Indian organization, and after a couple years spent in Anaheim, I go to Cleveland, I get sent down to Buffalo. And so we're down in Buffalo, parts of 96, 97, kind of on that, Buffalo-Cleveland shuttle. And along 97, here comes Jarrett Wright, Bartolo Colon. So watching this kid make basically his major league debut, and then all of these years later, and the way that he has completely reinvented. He was a guy that nowadays it's 86%, 85, 86% sinkers.
Yep.
He's just going to sink all day long with pinpoint command. Back in the day, he was straight power.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
was.
just blow 4-seamers right by you, power stuff, power slider.
3-1, and Tocci lifts the fly ball into right center, and Malik Smith is there. Boy, you're right. All of us who saw him come up. My question is, how can he be 45 in a month or so, and you be so young?
Listen,
how could that happen?
I mean, I've got him by less than a year, and he's still active and winning games and throwing the ball well. I mean, it's just been remarkable to watch. And by the way, has become a beloved figure around Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and I mean, how could you not root for him at this stage?
No.
This pitch is upstairs, and and they've said it's almost a cliche about baseball. They're all shapes and sizes and all kinds of athletic types, and sometimes appears to be not so athletic types, and they still are. And they can be successful at this game. All shapes and sizes.
That's why when he was with the Mets, his at-bats were must-see TV.
Yes.
You had to watch Bartolo swing the stick.
Here's Shin-Soo Choo sending one deep into center. That ball is going to get out of here over toward left center field, and he has hit another home run, his 5th of the year. He hit one to right center, hit the D-ring here last night, and sailed this one, sliced it to the left side of center, over into left center field for his 5th home run of the year.
Well, last night's home run, Dwayne, was measured at 446. If you can go 446 to right center field, there's not many parts of the ballpark that you're not going to be able to get to. And if you could see Shin-Soo Choo's reaction, he knew it was gone. He hit it, got the great lift, and immediately got into his home run trot. Not much doubt in his mind, and he was right.
So on the long one, Texas scores first, 1-0. Second home run given up by Jake so far this year, and this is 4th outing. And a strikeout, and throw him out down at first. Kinder Falefa is out number 2.
I will say in the early going for Jake, the split change has been on the mark. He's getting tremendous amount of depth with it, and how many swings and misses already.
The one guy on that list who made a bid for a no-hitter about this stage, the last pitcher older than Bartolo Colon to take a no-hitter into the 8th or later, was Gaylord Perry pitching for the Royals against the Baltimore Orioles in August of 1983, and he was 44 years, 338 days. Now a shot by Mazzara into left, catchable, grabbed by Denard Span. 1 run on the home run by Chu. 1-0 Texas. By WB Mason. Huba, WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Alex Smith shortens on the bat, and that brings Nunez in from third. Alex taking the pitch for a ball, 1-0.
You know, use that strategically if you're Alex Smith. You know, sometimes you can lay the bunt down, but just the threat of it, that gets Nunez right here. And how good has he been slapping the ball the other way? Slap it right by him.
There's a bunt up the first base side, foul.
Or, you know, you get the third baseman in and then you pull it the other way.
Well, a multi-threat up there.
Yeah, well, we said the vast majority of his hits in this little hot streak he's been on have been to left field. Well, look at that. Up the middle the other way. I'll tell you, he continues with that approach. That's what you want from him. You're not worried about his power. You know, he'll occasionally pop one out, but get him on base.
He takes ball 2, 2-1. Popper back of third. Will it be playable? The answer is no. About 4 rows back and a big hop. Two and two the count on Malix. Brandon Snyder next, and then Johnny Field. And Smith is out on strikes. 7 in a row, retired by Hamels to start it.
In the open, we talked about Cole Hamels and his pitchability. Well, guess what? He has seen Malix Smith get hot, and he's seen what he has been able to handle. It's the pitch away from him. So with 2 strikes, instead of trying to get him down in a way where he's been slapping the ball to left field, he comes heater up and in and ties him up. That is scouting and making adjustments.
And there's a base hit. Extra bases coming for Brandon Snyder on the first pitch, hitting it over the bag at third, and he pulls into second with a double. So Brandon Snyder, who was 0 for 4 last night, coming up from AAA. Doubles his first time up today.
Well, the cutter, we know that's going to play a prominent role here this afternoon, and Snyder able to clear the hips and get the barrel to it, and he keeps it fair. Bounces that ball right up the line, and the Rays here look to answer.
Well, the Rays down by a run. Have a man in scoring position for Johnny Field. It's down and in. Field 2 for 14 since coming up from Durham.
One thing that the Rays hitters have to do and be careful of is not trying to get to that pitch too quickly. You know, we know that Hamels is going to throw the fastball in, he's going to throw the cutter in, but if you start to leak a little bit with that hip, he'll recognize it. That's when he'll go to the changeup away, and it'll leave you susceptible to it, just like that.
There you go.
That's it. As soon as he starts to feel like a hitter is starting to leak up the third base line, looking to get to a fastball or a cutter in, he's going to go to the changeup and see how far out in front and pulling off that pitch Johnny Field is.
Up the left side, that one is foul. 2. Well, take a look at this. The trouble with the fastball, opposition hitting .464. Archer's second on that list at .419.
Those are fastballs just getting into bad parts of the zone where guys can handle it. You're putting up numbers like that.
And now Field is out on strikes.
That's where you get on top of that cutter a little bit, Dwayne, and it almost acts like a slider. Andy Pettit was better at that than just about any left-hander out there with a cutter. Creating some angle and depth with it when you want to. He just drove that pitch downhill.
Denard Span. 1 strike to count. One and one. Snyder at second, he doubled. Span trying to get him home. Takes one a little bit high right there. And it's 2 and 1. Two and 2. This one is down, full count. Ooh, look out. Boy, Matt Quatraro, the Rays third base coach, had to do some ducking to get out of the way. He was down the line a little bit out of the coaching box. Still got that great reaction time, and thank goodness.
You're following everything, and you better have that head on a swivel. My gosh, I mean, that was right over the dome. I think about an ear flap.
Yep.
I didn't even think about an ear flap.
He's staying put. Cut the miss. Span out on strikes. Ray's got a double. Leave a man on. We're through 3 now, and it's 1-0 Texas. The Toyota inside look, and you can see the credentials put together by Adrian Beltre on his eventual way to Cooperstown. Pitch is a strike.
We have to throw that graphic back up, as we just did, because there's too much to get through. Silver Slugger, All-Star, over 307 times, career almost 290 hitter.
Yeah.
The
offense
homers,
and 5 Gold Gloves.
2-time platinum.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, do the math. Promise there would be none, but we're going to do it anyway. 39 years old, 21st Major League season.
Yeah, yeah. And we were reminded by our buddies on radio, Andy and Dave, he's the last active hitter to hit a home run in the Astrodome, which closed after the '99 season.
I was wondering, like, how many active players have swung a bat in the Astrodome?
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's starting to, you're starting to get some time, but this guy, he's been around and played just about every part. Yeah. He was the last guy, I think, Dwayne, at the Polo Grounds. Lifted one out of there. Our old friend Jimmy Cogs.
Yeah, he was there documenting all of that.
In the stands.
Yep. 2-2 to Beltre. Well, Ken Caminiti hit the last home run in the Astrodome.
Oh.
And there's a fly ball toward the left side of center, caught by Malik Smith. One away. And look at this, of the active players who faced off against my esteemed colleague here, Brian Anderson, Adrian Beltre, Ichiro, Victor Martinez, Joe Mauer, and Albert Pujols. Huh? There you are.
Yeah, Beltre, how about that 21 ABs?
Let's see.
He was a young pup.
Yeah, hey, you held Beltre to a 238, though.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
But I don't like the Victor Martinez. But see, Victor knew me, too, though. We played with each other. So he knew me pretty well. Pujols, I faced him. I know that I got him a couple times, or faced him a couple times in the playoffs, too.
Yep.
So there was a couple more at-bats there with Albert. He was younger then, obviously, so it was change-up city. Show him the heater up and in, and then change up, and you get a little pop out, roll over. Victor Martinez is like, I know you're tired act, and I'm just going to go for about 6 bills off you.
Yeah, but you've got great company when it comes to Victor Martinez. So, you know, you'll take your success against Adrian Beltre and you work in Pujols over with a change.
Maybe maybe when we get together, you know, playing against the Mariners, I could take another shot at Ichiro too.
Yeah.
I like that. That 4 for 10 kind of bothers me. See, that's the kind of graphic that will eat at me for a while.
Hey, the good news is I was really happy to find. I know that it concerned you that you've gone all these years thinking you were just a game under 500.
It's so pathetic.
But when you look at the totality of your career, you are not. You are not a game under 500.
I did get back to even because of the postseason.
Yeah, way to go. See,
you know what I mean?
You won when it counted. Postseason.
I'll tell you what. There is nothing like, and the guys that have been there will tell you. But there is nothing like playing, and for me, pitching, you know, in the postseason. I mean, that's what you train for all winter long. And you get ready for these championship seasons. You put in your 6 or 7, you know, weeks of spring training to try to come out here and put together a season where you can get to October, meaningful postseason baseball, and there's nothing like it.
And
it was
you had a winning record in the postseason.
Yeah, you know, listen, I got the opportunity with the Indians in '97 and got to pitch with them in '97, with the D-backs in '99 and 2001.
Chirinos, and down on the bag comes Crone. Let's hope he's okay. Chirinos went to third with that ground ball, and Snyder's throw, a high throw to first. Crone had to go straight up and then come down on the bag, and Chirinos looking for the bag, misses Crone, and that's a good thing he did. Boy, that's an easy spike right there. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers, by Kubota. For more information or to find a Kubota dealer near you, log on to gokubota.com, and by your local Ford dealers. Now the Rays are down 1-0, and they're happy to find that C.J. Crone avoided being spiked on that play at first base. Chirinos actually went to the foul side of the bag, and Crone's hand was on that bag. So that's a relief there for the Rays as Daniel Robertson takes the pitch, first pitch of the inning here in the bottom of the 4th for a strike. Crone will hit third in this inning. It'll be Robertson, Gomez, and then Crone against Cole Hamels. Only run coming on the Chu home run in the 3rd. And that's down a bit. 1-1. You know, just to pay off that postseason for you, 2-1 in the postseason.
Yeah,
not 1 win, 2 wins.
Yeah, no, I got, well, and the loss is the one that really bothers you, because that was the World Series in '01, and I got beat 2-1 by Roger Clemens in game 3. Anyway, yeah, I remember the one win I got was one of those, one inning type deals. We were in Game 6 against the Baltimore Orioles in 1997. Obviously, we win that game. We go to the World Series, and I came into a scoreless game in the bottom of the 10th and got out of it. And then Tony Fernandez hits a home run off Armando Benitez in the top of the 11th.
For a good reason.
Well, you know what was interesting about that series? Yeah, we had our meetings before the series was going to start and came out and ran into Jim Thome, and Jim Thome kind of had a smirk and a little laugh, and you're just walking by him saying, what's that all about? And he said, we got Benitez. We want to get to. We get Benitez, we're going to get him. And Armando Benitez that year, remember, he was
lights out.
Unhittable.
Yep.
He was absolutely unhittable. And here you're hearing you want to get to Benitez, or you wouldn't mind because you've got, it's one of those, obviously it's a very confident group of hitters on those Indians teams in the mid to late 90s. But sure enough, we win that series 4-2, and we beat him 3 times.
Yep.
It was remarkable. They turned it around on him just like they said they would. It was something else.
Well, a little inside baseball there.
Yeah.
So Robertson lines to short. And here is Carlos Gomez. He went out third to first his first time. A lot of history here in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, a little bit. Reliving some old memories.
Oh, a broken bat. It explodes. Ball goes down to Nunez at third, who throws out Gomez. 2 up and 2 down. The other thing about the Astrodome, as we take another look at this bat just exploding there on contact with that pitch from Hamill.
And by the way, you will, if you ever do get a chance to go to the Louisville Slugger factory, they'll explain to you why this stuff happens.
Yep.
They tell all the difference between the maple and the ash and why they break a certain way. It's very interesting.
They'll collect that one, put it all together. Crone takes a strike.
Astrodome.
Oh yeah, the Astrodome. Yeah, 99 the last year there, as we discussed. Beltre among active players. He's might be the only one, the last active player anyway, to hit a home run. As we mentioned, Caminiti hit one, and I wondered about that when that Park Stadium opened in 1965. There are all kinds of firsts there. Mickey Mantle in an exhibition game hit the first home run there, and got the first hit, a base hit. But the first guy ever to throw a pitch in the Astrodome was Satchel Paige. There's a liner into left, and Mazzara makes the catch. And we'll wait until we come back for more on that. Hiring MLB players with Cape Cod, a journey to the bigs, premiering on Fox Sports Florida. That will be tonight at 7:30 p.m. Journey to the bigs, Cape Cod. Robinson takes a strike. Well, a couple of things there. And you have experienced the Cape Cod League, and that's unlike any other, I guess.
It was a blast, and I was fortunate enough to be able to do it 2 different seasons, 91 and 92. And unfortunately, I never got the full season. I always, you know, the 91, you know, played in a different league, tried to play on Team USA, the Pan American Games, and, you know, ended up there for the second half of the season. In 92, played with Team USA in the Olympic year, you know, traveling the country. Problem is, we had a 25-man team, you know, like most teams are, but the Olympic baseball back then, you only had 20 players. So you had to cut 5 at the end of your tour. And so as we made our way around and had like a week to go before Barcelona, I got sent home, but, you know, turned around immediately, went back up to the Cape for a second season, played both of them, or the partial years with Wareham. And it was one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had between life and playing baseball with that group of guys, the best collegiate players in the country, in one of the most beautiful, picturesque places in the United States.
Robinson down to first, and after Crone finally grabs the handle, backhands it to Faria, and Robinson is out of there. Well, that'll be great viewing tonight at 7:30.
Yeah, you know, that there may be some, I can't wait. I really can't, because just to go back and see those fields that we played on, and I'm sure the league has grown and has gotten so much better since I was up there. But that was like the proving ground. You know, that's one of those leagues where, as a college player, you're playing with aluminum. You know what I mean? And we're pitching against aluminum. Now all of a sudden you go to the Cape League, where it's a wood bat league, and the scouts flock like you can't believe, because you have the best players, you know, collegiate players in the country, hitters using wood, you know, maybe not for the first time anymore, but certainly when I was, you know, coming through the ranks, that was the first time college hitters had ever used wood. And so they get a real good feel of how a guy can handle a wood bat and how pitchers, you know, attack those wood bats. So yeah, it was a blast.
2-0 the count to Nunez.
Meanwhile, you had a job. You had, you know,
work
guys
the mornings.
I would work mornings. Some guys would bag groceries, or you had little different jobs around town. Work for 4 hours a day. Live with the host family and pay rent to the host family. The first lady I lived with, she had a mean dog. I'm not sure exactly what the breed was. She just said avoid it at all costs. So I tiptoe at home, you know, get back into this home after ball games, and she'd keep the freezer and refrigerator full so I could get what I needed to get. But there was that one little area that you had to slide through before, you know, Brutus would get after you. And it was uncomfortable. I'd lost a lot of weight that summer.
3-1 is drilled the other way. Field will go to the wall, and that ball caught by a fan, and the question is, did he reach over or not? And that's going to be a double, I believe. Nunez shooting it into right, and they've stopped him at second base. So the call is going to be a double with the fan reaching over onto the playing field. Here's another look.
Ooh. You know, his glove went down. Judgment call.
Yeah.
I mean, would it have made it over? I don't know. I know this. I know that he switched out the ball, and he's probably going to be headed to his vehicle here pretty soon.
Well, it might depend on the outcome of this call.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot riding on this call.
Don't leave it right now. Of course, the Rays like the idea that it's a double, and we'll see if it is or not. Umpires are going to talk it over and see what they decide.
And I don't think there's anything clear and convincing. I mean, I think you can make the case that this ball was going to clear the wall when it hits the glove. Going to be close, because he obviously takes it down. But I don't think you're going to see anything that would cause you to definitively say, okay, that's a home run.
Well, we're going to take a look right here.
He's trying to get himself thrown out. No, I went over. I went over the wall. Yeah, see? Maybe you should think about escorting him out into the parking lot because of that hat.
Yeah, well, he has a right not to incriminate himself, but I think he's waived that right. What do you think? Yeah, that's...
I think that ball probably gets over, but I think that his poor glove work is going to lead to a call stands and the runner stays at second. That's what I think.
Yeah, he's not going to help a pitcher out with that glove work.
No.
If he's catching, he's going to carry that pitch right out of the zone.
Framing, he is minus
Yeah, he's got
whatever.
some work to do on framing.
Yeah, yes he does.
Meanwhile, that's Nunez and Robertson discussing the situation here as we wait to see what happens after the umpires in New York take a look at that. Well, we wish them the best of luck.
Is security lurking? Is security lurking? They've got to be circling him like sharks. There it is.
Oh, yeah, see right there. So as soon as we get a ruling one way or the other, then security will act accordingly. Now, watch the framing here. If indeed that's a home run, he takes it right out of being a home run by dropping it below the yellow line. See, so he might have lost a strike to his pitcher if he were behind the plate. I think we just about have a decision here. Well, it's going to be interference.
Means he's got to go.
We will bid adieu to our colorfully topped fan in right field. So the call stands.
You know, he's getting booed right now, but quite frankly, he doesn't glove that. That probably is a home run.
Yeah, well, maybe the booing is the fact that they're ejecting him. That might be it.
Yeah, I mean,
Tochi fouls the first pitch. They're gonna let him stay, and see, there was the cheer.
dangerous precedent being
Yeah,
set.
he's still got a glove, and he's still right there on the front row.
And still with this.
No, a hat.
Yep.
Can't miss him.
Nope.
Not like he was trying to surreptitiously interfere. Here I am, decked out.
I love his buddy next to him with the Blue Jay lid. That's my favorite. My favorite thing ever is going to an NFL game, you know, Buccaneers, Saints, and a guy's wearing like a Bills jersey.
Oh, take a look at this.
Ah, from up north.
Yep. Got them all. Canada well represented.
But, you know, Florida well represented with the shirts.
It's a travel log.
That's a confused group.
Pickoff play at second. Now if they pick him off, how about that? Yeah, the Rangers wouldn't feel too good about that. So interference, a double, the ruling for Nunez.
Do you feel like this is one of the telecasts where we should take phone calls?
We'll be right back with your questions and comments in a moment. Stay with us. Tochi up here, 1-1 to count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, we've crossed the middle line on this roadway here a couple of times, both sides of the road. Uh-oh. Now they've decided to make a move.
They got him, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, quiet, like a thief in the night. They came and got him.
He should have changed shirts and hats, and they wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, it was a dangerous precedent being set. Like, hey, you can go ahead and interfere, and nothing's going to happen. I mean,
yep. Yeah, you let people break the rules like that, chaos could ensue. Swing and a miss. Tochi out with that toss down to first. So that's the second out. And by the way, just so that we clear the deck of all the things that we've thrown out there on the table. Satchel Paige threw the first pitch in the Astrodome in February of '65 before it opened in April, because they were concerned about whether or not a breaking ball would actually break indoors. First time they were going indoors with a dome stadium. And they brought Satchel Paige in, put him in an Astros uniform, let him go out and pitch and throw a number of breaking balls. They did, and so all was well. Then they later found that they couldn't track fly balls in the roof and had to paint that, and the grass died. And AstroTurf was born, but that's a whole other story. And we're going to save some of that for later in the season.
You know who's cheering you right now?
Pop up by Kinder Falefa, and it's caught by Robertson.
We'll get to that. Christopher Mad Dog Russo is cheering you. That's the kind of stuff that he lives on.
Bottom of the fifth coming up, 1-0 Rangers.
To check out one of the newest additions to Tropicana Field, Ballpark and Rec, which is a bar in the outfield. They have an outdoor patio, all sorts of fun games, bucket pong, skee ball, Connect Four, giant Jenga, and it's just like the original bar, Park and Rec, in downtown St. Petersburg. They're open an hour before and an hour after the game. Pretty cool. And I already challenged Rich and O to a game, guys, so you're more than welcome to join.
I got winner. I'll take winner.
Yeah, and I'm going to wager. Is that okay? My money's on Michelle. Down to short. Echeverria is out. Short to first. Kinder Falefa across to Gallo.
They had Gallagher. D-Wayne.
Look at that. And if you want to go outdoors, you can.
Always something new here at the Trop.
That's right. Cool place just to come and hang out.
Remember the porch? Remember they put the porch in?
Yeah.
And that was like the hot spot. Still is. Now you got an outdoor.
Here's Sucre sending one deep to center. Tochi all the way back to the track. And in line with the 404 marker makes the catch. So Sucre, who, as we had highlighted earlier, had some good numbers against Hamels, made a bid, but Just not quite deep enough to straightaway center.
Well, these hitters trying to get the ball into the air, and this one a little bit too much into the air, and he's trying to get it out there to the porch. A little short.
Still a good place to hang.
It is. We did a game from out there.
We did. We certainly did. Like a little more pre-planning the next time we did that. We do that. The line drive. Alex Smith, base hit into right. He's going to run it into a double. And boy, this is a great job of turning that base hit into a double, and it wasn't even close.
No, and you know what? As soon as the ball leaves the bat, Dwayne, you watch where Chu was positioned and the angle that he took. So he's off the line a little bit because Malik's hitting the ball so much into left field and up the middle. He gets a changeup and gets around it. And then Chu takes a deep angle. Watch the angle that he takes. Not trying to cut it off. He's kind of angling out towards the corner. And Malik Smith, with that speed, no chance you're going to keep him at first base when you do that.
Well, the Rays for the second time have a man in scoring position. Brandon Snyder doubled down the left field line his first time. Takes a strike this time. Well, Malik's is now 7 of 11 against left-handed pitching. Pretty good pace. Fly ball. Short left. Mazzara is there to make the catch. No runs, a hit, and the man left. We're through 5. 1-0 Texas. And Hamels, through 5 innings, has given just 2 hits, and that's it. No walks with 3 strikeouts. And Shin-Soo Choo, who homered in the game last night, belted a home run to the left side of center field in the 3rd inning of this one. That's how we have gotten to where we are right now. Through 5, 1-0 Texas.
Pitching dominant. Really on both sides. It was one pitch out over the plate that we just took a look at, but other than that, these guys are doing a good job of mowing down the opposition.
Mazzara leading off. The pitch is upstairs. Twice he's gone out to the opposite side against Faria. Jake, just in the mid-60s in pitch count. Through the front 5, and a little tapper foul. 1-1.
Well, that's one way to get deep into a ball game. Keep that pitch count in order. Look at that. Only one time even hitting the magic number of 15. Well, that's the gold standard. And he has been even or below that all game long.
Sky to the left side. Snyder out after it. Foul ball near the stands, and he grabbed it. Boy, that's quite a catch. Staying with it. Very difficult way to catch a ball there. And Snyder grabbed it and held on. Nice job.
Yeah, Dwayne, this has got to be your Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the day. You know, it's one thing to catch the ball backhanded above the head. It's another when it's that far away, extended, and it's down there around the shoulders. You know, you lose sight of it going into that glove. Well done.
And no fan reaching over for that one.
It's because they saw there were consequences, Dwayne. If Hatman is still sitting up there in right center field, maybe he is interfered with. And you know what? You got to let him stay.
And then we'd be on our way to chaos.
Yeah, right next to...
actions have consequences.
Most of the time.
In theory. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Beltre has his second hit. He's 2 for 3 now off Faria. So 1 out single, and that gets Joey Gallo up there. Gallo is grounded out to Echeverria on the right side of the infield and was called out on strikes in the 4th. Cut and a miss. The fastball up, strike 1. Well, right now, Jake and the Rays are down 1-0. Jake 5-4 last year, and that 5th win came on July the 25th against Baltimore. 0-4 since then. That got him off to a great start. Now action in the Rays bullpen. 2 strikes the count to Gallo. Pitch is down 1-2. Well, the pitch count in the other outings for Faria, 83, 73, and 78. And he's at 73 right now. And he's too high with that one to ensue. So Andrew Kittredge is throwing in the bullpen right now for the Rays. Upstairs, and the count is full.
Come on, Jake, empty your tank. Come on now.
And strike 3 is called. Druckman calling Gallo out on strikes for the 2nd time.
Boy, that is a momentum swinging pitch right there. And what got Gallo locked up was the fact that this split change came in. He saw that pitch coming in, and look at him just lock up. He's kind of leaning into that. That caught him by surprise, and big one.
That'll be the Texas catcher Robinson Chirinos. Struck out and grounded out. Start of a snap throw down to first by Sucre, but he had to make sure Crone was in on that. 1-0 the count.
These Rays catchers, they've proven they are not afraid to throw behind runners.
And a couple pretty good arms, so why not? Upstairs, 2-0. Texas scored on a home run by Chu in the third. It's been it so far. 2-1 here to Chirinos. Chu hitting his second home run of the series. He's had hits in all 3 games. Chirinos lifts it into left center. Span cutting to his left. Bernard makes the grab. No runs, a hit. A man left. Bottom of inning 6 coming. 1-0 Texas. Fox Sports is your home for round 1 of the NHL playoffs. Tune in tonight. The top-seeded Tampa Bay Lightning look to capture a 3-1 lead over the New Jersey Devils in Game 4 of this series. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Sun and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Full day of sports here, and he's set to take it in. Johnny Field leading off against Cole Hamels. Pitch is a strike.
Well, he's as locked into this game as anybody. You got a 1-0 game moving right along, and a couple of pitchers out there throwing very well.
Field quickly behind in the count. It's 0-2.
Cole Hamels has been working over that inside part of the plate against these right-handed hitters all afternoon long. Fastballs, cutters, work the changeup away, occasional breaking ball.
Yeah, he uses them all. This one is foul.
And you know what? That's probably, I don't know. There's been a handful of times where, you know, that cutter's been in there, that 87, 88 mile an hour range. We've seen him go in there with some changeups even.
Yep.
Changeups in to really try to speed a guy up. And then go away.
And a base hit the other way. So Field comes up with a leadoff single.
And here's the deal. The pitch by Cole Hamels, there's nothing wrong with the pitch. The idea was great. It was the execution. You can have the right idea. You've got to be able to execute. He goes changeup. He goes changeup away. Look where it's at. You leave it up. You give a hitter the chance to just reach out there and poke it. If that's down, that's probably a rollover or a swing and a miss.
And, you know, he's a guy who will use that changeup, you know, lefty on righty. Okay, he'll also throw it to left-handers. The changeup is a pitch that he became enamored with as a kid in San Diego, rooting for the Padres. Trevor Hoffman closed out games using the changeup, and he was a big Padre fan out there during those years and kind of focused in on Hoffman. And so he's going to give you the whole thing out there.
And that's where he's at now. Doesn't have, you know, that overpowering velocity, but he certainly knows how to pitch. He can locate, change up. He's got good arm speed with it.
Denard Span takes it inside. It's 1-1. Well, the Rays, for the first time in this game, have put the leadoff man on. They battled all day, and finally here in the 6th, have the leadoff hitter aboard. Another hits, double by Snyder in the 3rd and a double by Smith in the 5th. One and two, a little tap foul. Chaz Rowe starts to loosen down the right field line in the Rays bullpen. Liner into left. That's going to stay up, however, and Mazara is there to catch it. For a moment, looked good off the bat, but it stayed up.
And the contact sounded good. You know, all you can do as a hitter is hit the ball hard. And that's what Denard Span did. You know, he's down in the count. Going to try to shoot the ball the other way, as a good hitter will try and do, the way that he was being pitched. And he hit it right on the barrel, but right at Mazara.
Well, let's see what Daniel Robertson could do. He lined to short his last time. 0 for 2 right now. So he gets his 3rd look at Hamels. And there's a line drive base hit toward the corner. Fields on his way to 3rd. He's got a chance to score. They're going to wave him around. Relay throw to the plate is not in time. And the Rays have tied this game. Robertson goes all the way to 3rd. It's a 1-1 ball game. So Field with that leadoff base hit scores on the extra base hit toward the left field corner by Daniel Robertson.
Well, this ball gets off the wall, and then Mazara's got to go get it. That ball just kind of died coming off the wall. And that extra little split second, Johnny Field sneaks in that left hand. And all of that action allows Daniel Robertson to get over to 3rd, and he is jacked up, much like that Rays dugout.
Now the infield comes up for Texas with Gomez at the plate and Robertson at 3rd. Oh, look out. That pitch in on the hand. And Gomez hit by the pitch. And he heads to 1st. So it'll be 1st and 3rd, and they'll take a look at the hand of Carlos Gomez.
Cutter comes right up. Oh, catches him right on the meaty wrist area of that right hand.
So the Rays have tied it. Field scoring on Robertson's double. He went to 3rd on the throw through to the plate. And Gomez on the first pitch is hit by a pitch. He gets that glove off. And they'll examine his right hand. Well, the Rays don't need any more injuries. It's been tough enough already. And Gomez will stay in the game. Mike Sandoval out there, the assistant trainer, making sure he's okay. And of course, the Rays already have lost Matt Duffy on the disabled list with a little hamstring issue. And here's C.J. Cron looking to extend his hitting streak. This would be a good time. The pitch is up. No ball, no strikes. There's Kiermaier. Gone for the next couple of months plus. Little looper. That's going to fall. A base hit. Rays take the lead. Robertson crosses the plate. Gomez hustles into third. Cron drives in the go-ahead run and extends his hitting streak as the Rays take a 2-1 edge.
That's what strength will do for you, Dwayne. That was a good cutter there by Cole Hamels, trying to jam C.J. Cron and keep him from getting extended. But when you're strong, you're going to be able to muscle this ball out into center field and just drop it. You knew that was a base hit off the bat. Nobody going to be able to get to it. And that gives the Rays the lead.
8 straight for Cron. Two home, 2 men on. Adeiny Echeverria at the plate, and he tries to bunt and bunts foul back toward the screen. Echeverria twice has grounded out, once to third and once to the shortstop. He came into this game 11 of 29 against Hamels with 2 triples and a double. Sends a fly ball into center. Tochi will go back to catch it. Gomez tags. He's going to score, and the Rays, with a 3-run sixth, have taken the lead. Echeverria's sacrifice fly to center field gives the Rays the edge.
Well, you talk about building an inning. You know, Cole Hamels comes into the 6th inning locked in as anybody, but it was the mislocation on the changeup to Johnny Field. He left it up. Johnny did a nice job of going the other way with it. Leadoff man aboard, put a little bit of pressure on him. Look at this, 3 runs later. This inning not over.
Jesus Sucre hit the ball to the track in center field his last time. Came in 4 of 6 in his career against Hamels and takes the first pitch, a fastball for strike 1. Bounces it foul, 0-2. Action up in the bullpen for Texas. Chris Martin, the right-hander, up. Rowe continues to throw in the bullpen for the Rays. Sucre starts to go on a pitch in the dirt, checks in time. 1-2. Well, the double by Robertson got the Rays on the board, scoring Johnny Field from first. Cron dropped a base hit into center to tie the game, and the sacrifice fly by Echeverria, and the Rays have a 3-2 lead. Foul ball. Pitch up a bit. Still a ball, 2 strikes. 2-2. Jake Faria, 6 innings today of 1-run, 4-hit baseball. Actually 5 hits with just the 1 run. And a swing and foul tip strikeout will end it for the Rays here in the 6th. They send 7 men to the plate and they score 3 times. Robertson with a big blow, a double toward the left field corner, and the Rays go on to take a 3-2 lead.
And the Rays lead the Rangers 3-1. And how about Jake Faria? He has put together another outstanding outing, and it was the split change early on that really kind of set the tone. That pitch was locked in. You can see the swings and misses he was getting on it early. Ends up going 6 innings, giving up just the 5 hits. There's another one right there. And then how about that one that locked up Joey Gallo? That was a big pitch, a full count, runner on first. He locked him up on that changeup. And that would be the inning that he would finish his afternoon on. But 6 strong, and now you give way to the bullpen.
And it is Chaz Rowe who takes over to work the 7th inning, facing Drew Robinson. This pitch is high defensively for the Rays. Couple changes. Daniel Robertson moves from second to third base, and Joey Wendell moves in to play second base. He'll hit out of the 8th spot, vacated by Snyder. Check swing and a foul ball. The count is 1-1. Robinson out on strikes in the 2nd inning. Foul, 1-2. Alvarado up in the bullpen for the Rays. He was up an inning or so ago briefly. And that will take care of Robinson out on strikes. 7th strikeout for Rays pitching.
Well, for Chaz Rowe, it's the Frisbee slider. That is his calling card. Look at the amount of ground that covers. Just can't stay on it long enough for that particular swing. We've also seen him move around on the rubber, start in the middle of the rubber, and even within the course of a single at bat, move towards the third base side. Always got to check to where he's lined up.
And there's one in to start Nunez. Same thing.
Well, he started it at him. you know, you can't help it. The ball comes out and it's coming at you. You're going to flinch and lock a little bit. And then all of a sudden that late spin takes it to the inner third of the plate for strike one.
And he takes strike two.
Same thing. Sucre actually wanted that ball down and away, but even by where it ended up, watch where it comes out of the hand towards the hitter, and he just can't pull the trigger. Look where he's at too, far third base side of the rubber. That's where he really tries to yank that slider away. So he's on the far third base side, right-handed.
Yep.
It looks like that arm's right on top of you, and he's going to try to sweep it off the plate away.
Well, you can see where Sucre sat up. So he was as far away and down as Rowe was on the other side and up.
And back to the middle. I've never seen that before. I really haven't. I've seen guys, you know, at times move around on the rubber, but it's usually you're going to stay in that part of the rubber. You know, you move from the middle over. You know, it's a little experiment. You're going to try a different angle, but you're going to be there all game, not in the midst of an at-bat. But it's all about creating angles with that breaking ball.
And a cut and a miss, and you could see right before that pitch, Sucre with that mid down, get it down, and he did, and strikes out Nunez.
He's fun to watch behind the plate because of how demonstrative he is with all of his. Watch him right here. Set up, nod, give me right there. Bounce this thing if you have to. Gives great visuals. That really is helpful to a pitcher.
Carlos Tochi, first pitch he takes for a strike.
You know what else it tells you? He's invested.
Yep.
He's not just throwing down fingers and catching what you throw up there.
One ball, one strike.
You talk to both of the Rays catchers, really. You talk to Wilson Ramos or Jesus Sucre, and they are passionate about their pitchers. And
Well,
about,
those are the kind of catchers you want.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, it's not about what they're doing. It's
They're not just reporting in for work. They're part of the process. 2 balls and a strike. Rowe with a couple strikeouts here in the 7th, works to the number 9 hitter. Carlos Tochi, a Rule 5 pick. And a cut and a miss. 2-2. The end of the bat there, foul. See another 2-2 pitch. Reaching for that one. It ran right away from him. Rose strikes out the side. 7th inning stretch time. 3-1 Rays.
Another cold afternoon. Day game, 6th inning. Miguel Cabrera off the Gauss.
Oh,
The solo blast, and the Tigers currently with a 2-1 lead as they head into the 7th inning.
comfortable day in Detroit, apparently. Well, what a great inning in the top of the 7th for Chaz Rowe.
It wasn't like that when we got back from Chicago.
Now he's tightened things up a little bit.
A little bit. That took some work.
Mallex Smith. 1 strike to count. Cole Hamels still out there. 75 pitches through 6. Chop right side. Gallo's going to make the play unassisted. And that gives Mallex 1 for 3, and we'll bring up Joey Wendell. Wendell to match up against Hamels. Joey 0 for 3 in his career against Hamels. And Wendell's time with Oakland. Ground ball. There's a base hit. Well, he didn't waste any time right there. First pitch and right back through the middle. Well, the more we see of Wendell, the more you have to like him. He's done a nice job.
Always going to give you an honest day's work.
Yep.
You know, whether he's playing or not, he's going to be prepared. If he does get in like today, he's going to go right into attack mode. We've seen him hit the ball hard. We've seen him hit the ball all over the field, always hustling. I mean, he really forced Tochi to get to this ball quickly and get it in because he was looking to go too.
Johnny Field. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Field got the big hit to begin the 3-run 6th. Takes this one tight. 1-1. Coming in on his hands, and he fouls it. Hamels cutting that one in. Texas got their run in the 3rd on the Shin-Soo Choo home run. He'll lead off the 8th. The Rays put a 3-run 6th inning together. Down to 3rd, Nunez has trouble, and everybody's going to be safe. He tried to scoop it. Wendell moves to 2nd, and Field reaches.
Yeah, that's one of those tough hops, and Nunez is going to try to make that. You know, the glove's extended away from him, and it's that kind of that in-between little short hop that he's trying to glove perfectly. Got to make a call, try to get there, and you see it just comes up off the thumb.
Well, an error charged to Nunez. 2 men on with 1 out. Now Denard Span. Span line to left in the 6th inning. Away, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a chance for the Rays to add to their lead. Hamels wanted that pitch, falls behind 2-0.
When you start to run out of options in counts like this, base runners aboard.
Now a strike, 2-1. Robertson would follow Span. Shot into right field. That's going to two-hop the wall. Wendell will score. Field's going to go to third. It's a double for Span. Rays add another run. It's 4-1. Boy, Denard Span continues to give you quality at bats, and when he gets a pitch to hit, he lines this one into right.
Well, he was patient the entire at bat, got a 2-0 count, took a cutter for 2-1, and then tried to sneak that fastball in again. And you could see it kind of was coming back out over the plate. Span just drops the barrel and ends the afternoon of Cole Hamels.
Well, the Rays add a run and have 2 more men in scoring position. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by the Florida Lottery. That's why the Florida Lottery has over 70 unique scratch-off games. So add a little play to your day with these new games. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. 6 1/3 for Hamels. So far 4 runs, responsible for a couple of men on. Didn't walk anybody. And departs with the Rays leading this game 4-1.
Yeah, and he's got to be frustrated too, because he was in control for the longest of times, and then the Rays able to put together a 3 spot in the 6th, 1 already in the 7th, and with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and Chris Martin in this ball game, you've got to pull the infield up with just the 1 out.
Daniel Robertson to face the 31-year-old right-hander. Pitch is down. Martin most recently pitching in Japan. He's from Arlington, Texas, not too far from the ballpark there. He was a teammate of Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani, over there in Japan. Throws a strike, gets 1-1.
So he knew what was coming.
Yes, he did.
Although his Ohtani's outing last night cut short after 2 innings with a blister issue. When Boston continues, I mean, all over the Angels
they got
last night.
Mookie Betts back, and all he did was hit 3 home runs.
No biggie. He's done it 3 times already in his career. He matches Ted Williams.
2-1. Yeah, you're in serious company there.
And think about already matching Ted Williams for having done that 3 times. And how old is he? Is he 25 yet?
Yeah.
I mean, he has got plenty of time to get out in front.
Two and one now, and a good cut at a pitch foul back. So it's 2-2.
He had 25,
Yep.
83 career homers,
Yep.
and it's your leadoff guy.
How about that?
Setting the tone. Some of the quickest hands you'll see in the game. That's what he got Ohtani on in his home run last night. Tried to go down with 97, 98, and see ya. Rocket shot.
Infield up. 2, and Robertson tried to check. He's out on strikes.
Well, you talk about getting tied up. Daniel Robertson is starting to dive and start his swing as Chris Martin goes up and in, and Daniel almost dives into this pitch. He's half swinging and half trying to get out of the way at the very end. There he goes, dive, swing, and then whoa. That thing was way up and in. Not too far.
Well, 2 outs. Here's Gomez. And he swings and misses. Away, and it's 1-1. Rays have added a run in the 7th. Great opportunity for more. Up the left field line, it's going to be foul. Hopping beyond the bullpen. It's 1-2. Chris Martin in relief of Cole Hamels. Martin missed the better part of 3 years. He had shoulder issues. He was a Grand Prairie air hog for a while in independent league baseball.
It's a pretty good nickname.
Yep. Wound up in Japan and now back pitching for his hometown team. Little popper into short right. Chu coming in already there to make the catch. The Rays settle for 1 run. They leave 2 onto the 8th. 4-1 Tampa Bay. against Texas. Rays pitchers strike out 10 hitters, and they're on the verge. Visit CanesStrikeout.com for a printed home voucher. Take it to Canes Furniture within 7 days and receive a coupon for 2 free tacos and chips at participating area Tijuana Flats locations. Restrictions apply. Alvarado into this game. Jose Alvarado following Chaz Rowe, who faced 3 men and struck him out. So it's Alvarado here in the 8th. He'll face the top of the order, the left-handed bat of Sin-Shu Chu. Was lined to right and homered and was intentionally passed in the 5th inning. First pitch is upstairs. A fastball comes right in and hits 99. And Sergio Romo starts to throw in the bullpen. Two balls, no strikes. It doesn't take him long to get loosened up. It was 100 on our radar here. 98 with that one. And a strike, 2-1.
And you combine that with a couple variations of the breaking ball and the ability to throw strikes, and he is an uncomfortable at bat for sure.
Tap foul, 2-2. And on the other side, you saw the Texas left-hander Alex Claudio warming up in their bullpen, and his fastball averages about 86, 87.
Change up extraordinaire. Deception and change of speed. Two lefties getting it done 2 completely different ways.
Ooh, look at that breaking ball. Very nice there. Strike 3 call. 10th strikeout for Rays pitching. Faria had 6, Rowe 3, and now Alvarado with this breaking pitch takes care of Sin-Shu Chu.
Look at the buckle. Look at the buckle by Chu. Not even able to go out and go after that pitch. That's what the 98, 99 will do to you. And then he snaps one of those off. Good luck.
On the ground, down to 3rd. Robertson right there, and on the first pitch to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, we have out number 2. Rays will have tomorrow off, and so Friday on Rays Live, the pregame show, again presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from Chris Archer, and Orestes will break down Twins DH Logan Morrison, a familiar figure here from a year ago. He's gotten off to a slow start with the Minnesota Twins, and we'll see what Orestes has to say about that on Friday. Base is empty, 2 gone. Nomar Mazara at the plate. That's a strike. One and one. Texas got a run in the 3rd. They led until the 6th. The Rays scored 3, added a run in the 7th. It's now 4-1 Tampa Bay. A strike at the knees, 1-2. dirt right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sucre fighting to save Dreckman behind the plate. That ball just yanked down into the dirt. And how about this save? No, actually, he missed him. Maybe that's why Dreckman was yelling at him.
Yeah,
you
he
got to
says,
do
"Hey."
a better job.
Yeah, come on.
How did that ball get over the shoulder of Sucre?
Yeah, Dreckman, I'm sure he had a pleasantry for Sucre.
What are you doing down here?
Yeah.
You're my last line of defense.
Tapper back to the mound. Easy does it. Alvarado with the throw to first and 1-2-3. Go the Texas Rangers. 4-1 Rays. Local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. In the beautiful Bay Area, the Rays have a 4-1 lead. On to the bottom of the 8th. C.J. Cron will lead off, and he'll face the new pitcher, the left-hander Alex Claudio.
Well, he comes on for the 10th time. He's worked 8 innings, 4 strikeouts, no walks. Boy, he did a nice job for this bullpen in 2017, getting became their closer, really. At the end of the day, you think closers coming in blowing guys away, and like you said, Dwayne, you're talking 85 to 87 with a good changeup.
He was in 70 games and then was 11 of 14 in closing situations. Texas had the lowest save rate in the American League last year, 58%. It's 1-1 now to Cron, who's extended his hitting streak with an RBI single in the 6th. It's now out to 8. 2-1. Well, Daniel Robertson got the scoring started with that extra base hit and a run batted in the 6th. Cron drove in a run in that inning. Echeverria as well. Denard Span drove in one in the 7th. There's a shot. Look out down the right side. 2-2 the count. Full count. Echeverria is on deck. Ground ball, that's headed through the middle and a base hit. Crone with his second hit. This one leads off the inning. MLB at bat is your #1 Rays app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rays home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and a lot more. Download MLB at bat today. Echeverria officially 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly driving in a run. There's a strike. Base hit into right. Crone will stop at second. Rodeo greeted with a couple hits. The Rays up to 9 hits.
Well, Echeverria does a nice job of just sitting back on that fastball, not worried about getting beat with velocity. Sit back, that ball down and away. You just go ahead and shoot it the other way. Crone up the middle, Echeverria to right. Rays bats have come alive here. Latter part of this game.
Jesus Sucre looking for his first hit today. Drove the ball deep to center in the 5th. And nubs it to the right side here. That's still a fair ball. Gallo back to tag the bag. Steps on first. Crone moves up to third, and over to second goes Echeverria.
Sucre basically a swinging bunt. Not bad up the right side. Get those runners over to second and third. Joey Gallo hustling down the line to get that before it went foul.
Now Maddox Smith will have a chance to add to the Rays lead against a drawn-in infield and facing the lefty. Strike one. Smith doubled in the 5th inning against Hamels. Romo and Colomé up in the bullpen. Ground ball right side. Run's going to try to score, and the throw is in time to get Crone. Echeverria winds up at third, and Smith reaches on a fielder's choice with Crone cut down. Gallo to Chirinos.
There it is. Contact. There goes Crone, but here comes Gallo. Just in time.
Joey Wendell singled in the 7th inning, hitting again in the 8th. Pitch is down. Goes Smith down to second base. The pitch is down. And again, the Rays will have men at second and third. Alex picks up his 3rd steal with a peek back.
Might not be any easier than that one right there. High leg kick, no coverage. Waltz into second.
Wendell takes this one on the inside part of the plate. now 2-1. Johnny Field on deck. Takes it to 3 balls and a strike. Wendell getting his first look at Claudio. Picks up a strike. And now it's a full count. Second and third now, 2 gone, and a full count on Joey Wendell. He forces another 3-2. And the postgame show coming up, presented by WB Mason. Rich and Orestes will be anchoring all the coverage. We'll have the manager's press conference. Kevin Cash and Michelle Margot has interviews from the clubhouse. Number foul, so we'll have to do it again. And Johnny Field would be next if Wendell extends the inning. Bullpen ball loose, rolling all the way out into the infield. Claudio is going to retrieve it. Rays back in action over the weekend. You see the bullpen there. The Rays score another one. That means Romo, and if they don't, that means Colomé. Save situation right now, 4-1. And a cut and a miss. Wendell strikes out, and the Rays leave 2. It'll be 4-1 as we go to the 9th. A 4-1 lead. And so far so good for the Rays bullpen today. Very good.
Well, Chaz Rojas comes in and punches out 3. Jose Alvarado comes in, first pitch 100 miles an hour. He gets a strikeout, and that's kind of what you have in mind when you think about the back end of this bullpen and the options that Kevin Cash has between Chaz Rowe. Here, Jose Alvarado can overpower you. Sergio Romo, a guy that's going to give you different looks, and of course your closer here, Alex Colomé, who hopefully comes on and finishes this one off for the Rays.
Well, Colomé is going to face Adrian Beltre leading off the 9th inning. Alex in the game last night worked an inning, gave up a hit, picked up a strikeout, no runs. And the first pitch, fastball a little bit high, 1-0.
We've seen a more of an emphasis on the fastball by Colomé here in recent outings.
And he's behind 2-0.
He's never going to get away from that cutter, nor should he. However, more of the four-seam high-velocity fastballs would do a lot to help that cutter out.
There's a strike. And at 95. Well, he starts the 9th against the future Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre. Beltre now 39 years old. Ooh, close there. He lays off, and it's 3-1. Beltre turned 39 11 days ago. Now he leads off the 9th. And ball 4. Lead off walk. Only the second walk given up by Rays pitching. Faria was charged with an intentional walk in the 5th inning.
Trying to go with that fastball, upper reaches.
Now it's Joey Gallo. 198 for the year, 6 home runs. And that 6th home run came here Monday night when he hit the D-ring in center field, becoming the first left-handed hitter to hit a home run off Blake Snell. Strike 1 to him. Shift on as per usual. Gallo out. Echeverria to first, his first time up with the shift on, and the count 1-1 now with Echeverria midway between first and second in the shift. Robinson Chirinos on deck. Tap foul right off his foot. A ball, 2 strikes. Faria for 6. Gave up a run, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts. Chaz Rose struck out all 3 he faced in the 7th. Alvarado a strikeout in the perfect 8th he worked. And now here we are in the 9th. A runner at first, nobody out, and the 1-2 count on Joey Gallo. Way upstairs. It's 2-2.
You know, those fastballs up sometimes can be tricky, and you can see Sucre's glove there right at the top of the strike zone. So they wanted to go up, obviously not that far up. See what they go with here and see how.
Well, Gallo 0 for 6 against Colomé with 6 strikeouts. And the 2-2 is ball 3 and a full count.
Huge pitch, obviously.
Walk to Beltre, 3-2 to Gallo. And ball 4 is upstairs, so back-to-back walks to open the 9th. And that, my friends, will get the potential tying run to the plate.
And that pitch right there, Alex Colomé did not cut that cutter loose. He was trying to feel that ball into the zone and doesn't cut it loose. There's no aggressiveness with this pitch. You can see he kind of cuts himself off even, and that's what causes that ball to stay high. Kyle Snyder out to talk to him, Romo back up, and not at all the way that you wanted to start this inning.
Robinson Chirinos will be the hitter. Bruce Romo had been up throwing alongside Colomé in the bottom of the 8th in case the Rays had scored any extra runs. And now he's up in a different role here with Beltre and Gallo drawing walks against Colomé in the 9th.
Oh, battle in the mind of Alex Colomé right now is what's going on. Desperately needs something positive to come out of this.
Well, Chirinos in this game has struck out, grounded out, and hit a fly ball to left. And he swings and misses strike 1.
Thank you very much.
You know, interesting, all things being equal, Chirinos has developed into a very patient hitter, but he helped the Rays right here.
Sure did. Ball below the zone. What he's smelling is tying this ball game up, and so you get that big uppercut swing, overly aggressive.
Little tapper foul. The count is 0-2. Walks to Beltre and Gallo. Into the dirt, blocked by Sucre. It's 1-2. And Chirinos, like a lot of right-on-right situations, likes the ball up. He did hit 17 home runs last year. But right now, Colomé has the jump on him, 1-2. And a cut and a miss. Big strikeout for Alex Colomé. He got exactly what he needed there.
And Chirinos got exactly what he wanted there and missed it. There's a cutter here, 91 middle up. I think he's almost a little too quick on that swing. Never got to the outer third, and he was almost swung at that like it was an off-speed pitch.
So you see Chirinos there. Dissatisfied with himself. There's Drew Robinson. That's a wave and a miss. Starts him with a fastball, 95. Robinson a couple strikeouts. Faria got him swinging on a fastball back in the 2nd. And he struck out against Chaz Rowe. That slider of his in the 7th inning. Up and away, 1-1. A 1-1 count. Now the pitch. 1-2. Right over that one. Guzman has moved into the on-deck circle. Here's that swing and miss. Colomé ahead in the count. Line drive, base hit the other way. Span with the pickup. Beltre's going to score. And it's 4-2. A 1-2 pitch, and Robinson strokes an RBI single into left. It's a big hit for Texas. Now Nunez will be lifted, and Ronald Guzman will hit for him.
Man, that cutter just stayed out over the plate. They wanted to crowd him, like the pitch they got him to swing and miss at, but Robinson did a nice job of staying back on it and just poking it out into left field and aggressively getting Beltre around third and home.
Guzman ground ball second. Wendell, Echeverria 1, first base 2, 4-6-3, and that's the way this one will end. It's a 4-2 final, and the Rays win their second series of the year. 4-9-0 for the Rays, 2-6-1 for Texas. And Faria's going to pick up the victory. He is 1-1, his first win since July 25th of last year. Colomé picks up his fourth save. Hamels the loser, dropping his record to 1-3. And our Coors Light refreshing finish. Here it is, the double play ball.
Coming right off the bench, swinging right away, and that ball got in him just enough. And here you go. Pretty standard right there. A nice way to finish this one. Nice way to finish off this 3-game series.
Rays win it 2-1. Tomorrow's an off day, and they'll pick up the homestand Friday against the Twins. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. We'll be with you Friday beginning at 6:30 on Fox Sports Sun. Coming up, Rays Live, the postgame. See you Friday.